And we are live. What's going on, art enthusiasts and change makers? Hey, this is another episode of Art for Change podcast, and I am your host, Mr. Sexual Sexual, and my co-host is in the building today, Montana Cobain. What's up, player?
What's going on, baby?
What's happening? What's happening? And we are interviewing the lovely Lady Alva. How you doing, Lady Alva?
Hey, Lady Alva's good. Always good, no matter what the weather.
No matter what the weather. I love it. I love it. Optimism is at its finest.
Yeah, yeah.
We haven't heard from you in a while, Lady Alva. How you been, love? Anything new with you?
Yeah, there are some new things going on.
Family?
There are some new things going on. But what you mean? Look, I like to stir the pot, but I like to stir the pot honestly and truthfully. What you mean you haven't heard from me for a while? You know why you haven't heard from me?
Yes.
Or you mean you haven't heard from me on social media? Which way we going?
Yeah. Social media.
Oh yeah. All right. So
the people haven't heard from Lady Alva.
Yeah, I've been laying low. Probably part of licking my wounds. Due to a separation.
Oh,
no. Yeah, no, but really, because human relations is always challenging, know. And it's like when you think you've got the work done, you realize there's more work to do. Because you never know. You can do your work, but you don't know who did or didn't do their work or what personalities you're going to deal with.
Yes.
So then you find I got more work to do, because of different personalities. But so for me, at being seasoned to this point, I consider myself in human relations.
Yes.
I see where I could have done something better or different. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially when it's something that I'm choosing or I want.
Right.
No matter what the weather is coming from another person.
Correct.
So I like trying to follow the model of Jesus to really stand in the storm in peace.
Yes, ma'am.
But at the same time, there are things that you can't, the flesh that we don't want, right? We don't want to have, even the spirit, because it can stricken the spirit. And we don't want to have that, and ignore, like you said. But it's difficult. It's still something, truthfully, that I'm trying to figure out, because sometimes I feel like, well, God, I know God don't want me to go through this or deal with that, so I got to go. But I'm not so certain. All the time, I'm not certain what God is speaking to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Or if he has spoken that to me, or it's just how I feel. But so then I think about it a little deeper. The circumstances, the reasoning, the people, and y'all matter to me. So that for sure, y'all matter to me, and so I said, so there's got to be, because y'all matter to me, that's goodness. Regardless, is goodness there, so I, had to go through all those thoughts, and still are, to say, well, sometimes you got to just, how can I say, be singed a little bit in the fire, but guard yourself in the fire, if you will, and just take it easy, because we all, as long as we're breathing, we all have room to grow. We all are growing, as long as we're breathing. And I can definitely say it appears that you fellas are men who are willing to grow in your life, and that's what you're displaying here.
Yeah,
so, that's what I mean by licking my wounds. And I decided and thought to talk about this because I think it's important for the audience, your audience, and people out there to know, because plenty of people just cut throats real fast when it comes to bad relations and give it no thought, and all the time. I think we should think about it a little more. That's all.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah. What you think, Montana? I got to ask you, because I don't know, you smiling at your kids, or you smirking at what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I was messing with my kids and the lady, man.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was over here smirking at. But
okay.
I definitely understand where you coming from. You know what you mean when you said um when you say licking your wounds and stuff like that. Like like when you it's a different feeling when you step into something and you think it's one thing and it may be another. You know what I'm saying? It may not be on you. It may be on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it can send your brain into all types of thoughts of like, what could I have done different, or you know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand where you come. Bro, chill out. I could definitely understand where you coming from with that.
Yeah. I'm glad I asked you that because I'm still reaching for more understanding. Always. Yeah. But so other than that, I've been laying low and looking at, with dealing with my father. He's very independent, as I've said before on this platform. And he doesn't want to lose that, and I don't want to take it from him, but I still have to see about him, and stuff. I cook most of all the meals and stuff, so I've never cooked so much in such a long time, every day at home. But it's good, so just adjusting to that and taking my time to get back on social media it's called Living Positively Radio. Yeah.
Living Positively Radio. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like that.
Yeah. I want to have you guys on as a guest eventually.
Whenever you have us, we there. How about that?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
You just line it up.
All right.
For people who don't know who Lady Alva is, so first time listeners, let's give the first time listeners a little background of Lady Alva and her being a radio personality and also an advocate for women living poverty with HIV. So give us a little backstory of who Lady Alva is.
So Lady Alva. Alva's the middle name, so that's why I use that. And it's a name that was given to me from my grandmother on the paternal side. Sorry, y'all. Something's happening here. I'm telling you, the system is kind of tripping out tonight. I think I wanted to stream this to my audience, but I forgot to click the button. But anyhow, so I'm a mom. I'm a grandmother, a sister, an aunt, and plenty of cousins. I'm a chef also, professionally. I am a strong woman. I'm a strong woman and not afraid of trials and tribulations. So my journey came into a deep shift about in 2010 where I was diagnosed with the virus, and that diagnosis was AIDS. And I was totally shocked. Obviously I got myself healthy, the medicines that they give, and I'm trying to think of the cocktail that they give for each individual. It could differ from one to another. Brought me back to good health and good standing. So whereas then about a year later, give or take 2 years, I became HIV positive. And then further, a little bit after that, undetectable, which means my body is not contagious. And that's how I live my life from that point on, that status. What was the other part? What else do you need to know? Get background of me. That's the advocacy that I went into because of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you like to share your journey and what inspired you to become a radio host and advocacy for ladies living positively with HIV?
Yeah, well, being one that was living with AIDS, HIV, or HIV/AIDS, I up close and personal saw the struggles with it, the issues with it, the stigma with it, and because I have always truly been like an open, forward person. I don't like to hide parts of me. Any part of me that I'm willing to share, choose to share, I want to feel free and comfortable to do that. But when I was diagnosed, I started hiding, because it has such a stigma on it for many, since it started and for many years. And I realized, when you don't have something, it's like it doesn't exist in your life anymore. Once you know about something, you have the knowledge, but you don't have it personally. So it's not part of your life. So you're kind of detached from it. So once having it, now I'm attached to it. So now I realize that I've been carrying this stigma about this virus also, along with the mass majority of the world. And now I'm stigmatizing myself, truly, because I'm hiding. I came to that realization. So how do I move beyond that? And what sacrifices will there be if I move beyond that? Starting with family, from my mother to my sisters to my children, and the rest down the line, friends, what, how are they going to feel about it? And if it's negative in their minds and hearts about it, how am I going to deal with that? What will I lose? Right. So am I going to lose the over joyous comfort that I have from these people? Right. I don't want to do that, but I don't want to hide and lose my own joy and my comfort.
Yes, right. Absolutely. Because your piece is too expensive.
Exactly. So piece by piece, little by little, it was so much, just selectively choosing maybe one person to talk about it, a close friend, girlfriend of mine, also I did therapy and things like that for myself, because prior to even being diagnosed with that infectious disease, and we want to change that infectious disease, because the world's like, oh, infectious. So with HIV, right. I had depression, so I was already being treated for that, but not consistently. So I'm losing my train of thought. Prior to that, so once confiding in one or two people to talk about it, the therapy is where I was going. So I was already in therapy for things of depression, and I had anxiety coupled with that too. Now, and then in between, once diagnosed with HIV, I also realized I got Lyme disease. So, yeah, and I didn't know it for, it took them almost a half a year, if not a little more, to pinpoint what was going on with my body. So, with all those things and just dealing with it, I'm never one to ignore my health. I want to know what's going on.
Yes.
And being treated for it. And depression was a big part of it, because now I have HIV and I have this depression. Like, really, I know how to hide very well, because depression, I know how to hide.
A lot of people mask depression, right?
Yeah. It's funny. That's a good way to say it, because you don't want it. And then at this point, I've learned the tools to manage it very well, and I can feel when it's coming, but I don't allow myself to really hide in it. If I sit with it, it's different than just cowering into it. Yes, like, so, because it makes you think. It's like it's another brain that starts thinking for you how you feel. Like, everything is dismal. I used to say, when it was really bad, I could be in my house, any room where I like my house. It's nice. It's beautiful. I see clearly. Depression hits, it's like a fog. Right. And everything is a mess. And any little mess is going to be a big mess for me. Right. But now I've managed it to the point to where I don't let it consume me that way. I say, okay, like, I see you're here. Okay, I'll just sit with you, and work it out, or see what I can do. Yeah. And not for my brain to be focus on negative things that may truly exist in my life or issues, because that's just going to compile and deepen the depression.
Yes,
yeah, so that's where that always good things comes from too. I started saying that always good. So yeah, so after I started talking to some people, and it just got a little better and better in therapy and group therapy with women who are also positive, did those things. That was very interesting for me, because I had something, look, as I'm doing this, I'm learning about myself too. I'm learning about things about me that other people see, and actually some like, oh, it's maybe too profound for them, or too aggressive for them. But I'm I'm learning that that's a part of me now, but I need that part for me to get to where I'm going, for this transition to happen. So like I would be in the group for women. We'd gather, I think it was once a week at that time. And it was different topics. All of us are HIV positive, and they're talking about different things. And a lot of the women have other layers of different diseases also. I thankfully don't have all those layers. Thankfully. I can't imagine. Well, I've seen and heard and witnessed like those layers. It's a lot for a lot of women that have that. I'm working on myself from the perspective of what I'm telling y'all, to get through this, to stop hiding, to be comfortable with me. They're still hiding. Yes. And then they have all these stories. And at the same time that the women are hiding, they're poking at different things and different societal issues. And it was disturbing for me. Like it was cutting through my spirit to hear that. So it really became like we're coming once a week on whatever particular day of the week, and everybody's whining. And now we're 3 months in, and that's how. And people are still whining. Why? Either you're gonna do or we don't. But let's try to talk about something else, and without the whining and complaining, because that's not where are we going with that. So I started to voice myself a lot, and I was the oddball in the bunch. So even the facilitator said, "Oh, we never had this before." I said, "Well, you never had me before." So with that being said, what I learned that for me, and I think all people, well, you go through life, pay attention to things that you're doing or that you're into, especially things that you're getting help for, because you might have had enough of that help where you need another level of help or another type of help. You know what I'm saying? So I outgrew the group. I outgrew the group. Also, with those layers, some people having addictions, so that you can hear their minds. They're still speaking from that, and with deep addictions and people's nervous system, their temperaments are all over the place. Yeah, so I had to separate from the group, because you don't want to be there to agitate anybody, and I needed to receive nourishment for myself. So I realized I've got enough nourishment from here. There's nothing more that I could get from here. So I did that. Yeah. And then always my main focus was God, the word and God. And at that time I was definitely a faithful disciple in the church and on the choir, So that was very important. And it still is very important, although I don't go to church as faithful as I did, because I moved back to New York. My home church was up in the Poconos, but that doesn't stop me from visiting any church. That doesn't stop me from being in the word. That doesn't stop the thought and presence of God in my life, because that's what it is. So, yeah. So, more so than that, the next level was because of how I've heard women and then some men speak about it. I went to a men's group too. I went to a men's group actually and heard them talk. So, it's like you don't realize sometimes when you're kind of exploring or see what's there for you, tools to help you or to just be doing something, because I wasn't working at that time. You hindsight, you realize that these are all things that you're picking up for a cause, for a reason. It becomes part of your toolbox for of knowledge. So because I realized my mindset was different about it, and me being who I am, I felt like I needed to speak about it. I was inspired by some speakers that I have been listened to and heard when I went on retreats and stuff, all men and women who are HIV positive, through our healthcare organization. And it inspired me to I think I want to do that. I'm interested in doing that and telling my story. And just to help people. It's never anything about anything monetary. I'm not looking for the golden rose, If anything, I'm looking to impart golden roses in women, letting them know that they are golden roses, no matter what journey you've been through, and as long as we're breathing, we can change that from whatever's in the past, and we can start anew. The past doesn't have to dictate your future completely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for you. Actually, I got two questions. In your introduction, I heard you say you was first originally diagnosed with AIDS.
Yeah.
And you said they put a concoction together. See, you
Yeah.
taught me something there. I never knew that that the disease can digress. Because
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong. AIDS is like the full blown like you got a
Mm-hmm.
certain amount of time to live. You know what I'm saying? But HIV is more livable, shall I say? You can live longer with it. It's more.
Correct.
Okay, so
Correct.
I never knew that. I didn't know that, what I'm saying, that it can digress, with the right treatment, and what I'm saying, you probably doing what you need to do on your behalf as well. Um
Mm-hmm.
my second question is, when you were first diagnosed, because I have a male associate, friend, a partner, whatever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
He's part of the alphabet community. That's how he contracted his. He's HIV positive as well.
A
But I
part of
was
what community? I'm sorry. Say.
the alphabet community.
Oh, the alphabet. Okay, got you,
Yeah,
got
yeah. You know what I'm saying? He plays for the other team.
you. Yes,
So
I got it.
but so I was gonna ask you, when you first found out, did that deter you from dating? Did you feel like, I'll never be able to date again? Because like you said earlier, it's a stigma on the disease. You know what I'm saying? Certain people
Mm-hmm.
look at it as, oh, like, you got the cooties or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, did it deter you from dating? Because him, that man ain't stopped yet. Like, and he's
Mm-hmm.
and y'all are similar in the fact that it's non-detectable. And
Mm,
so
okay.
he's still, partying and living his life to the fullest. So I was asking you, like,
Mm-hmm.
when you first found out, did you ever have that thought, like, man, will I ever be able to find love again if you were single at the time? Or, you know what I'm
I ab-
saying?
yeah, I absolutely did. That
Mm-hmm.
was a big issue for me. Um, I felt about myself, I'm one of the pretty girls in the room. I don't, and then I'm raised from the tradition, so I don't chase guys. You see a guy, you don't say nothing. You be like, or maybe you give some looks or something, but you want him to come over and say something to you because you like him already. So now, how is this gonna work? You know what I'm saying? As far as now sexually active, I was predominantly always in a relationship, having children, and raising children. So and even in between, I must say this, when I was not with the father of my, like, well, I have one husband, so my husband in between, then maybe a boyfriend here, but I didn't have guys or boyfriends coming in my house and this and that like that, you know. I was very selective, and that's why I say all the men I've loved before, because those are the ones I had children with. So anyhow, I didn't know how that's gonna work for me. I felt rejection without even yet being rejected, you know, literally. And then do I tell them, you know, and I don't have to, but what do I still do with that? I really didn't know what to do. So I kind of, when it did at times get a little bit of attention here or there, I kind of still was to myself. I didn't open up to let anyone in on like that, you know. No, I'm good. I'm just being single right now, you know, staying celibate. I was celibate for a long time. And actually, I still do live a celibate life, but it's the type of celibacy whereas if I could meet someone and have an attraction, which has happened, and he the same for me. And then, okay, we say, okay, well, let's see what we got going on here between the two of us. But if that doesn't work, then I'm back to celibacy again until that happens again. Like, you know, I'm just not out here having sex just because I need sex. So yeah,
Understood.
yeah. So I guess for me to saying that portion there, that probably worked well for me, right? Because I've heard some women like they gotta have sex, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have that issue,
Right.
you
Do
know,
you,
where oh my gosh, I gotta. What it was for me really is more so companionship,
Yes.
you know, relationship, and it's still like that today.
The intimacy part.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
And
Hmm.
I think, no shade here, but I think your age probably played a big role in that as well. You was already, like you said, you was in a relationship for one, and
Hmm.
you was already of age. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
most of the people who are contracting the disease now, they're at a younger age, where they
Yeah,
still, they still value,
Their
this,
youthfulness.
yeah, they still value,
yeah,
what I'm saying, using their organs. I'm gonna just say it like that.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
I can
well, you know,
understand
but
that.
I must say, when I was younger, I was, this was pride. I was like, I could, well, in my 20s, late 20s, and I don't have five fingers to say I had five boyfriends. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Yeah.
I was not that promiscuous boyfriend,
Yeah.
and if I had, everybody didn't get have, wasn't having me like that. So
Yes, well.
I've always been like that, very particular. So thankfully, you know, yeah. Um, because it's more, it's sacred, you know, and
Hmm.
I do and have learned enough about myself, and which I've taught, well, teach my kids. I don't know how they are holding on to that teaching, but for the younger people out there, sex opens up, it's the Pandora's box. It opens up something in every human being.
Yeah.
And if you are too young, you will not know how to deal with that. And all you're gonna do is like having a good piece of candy. You just gonna want more and more and more.
Hmm.
Never
And
satisfied.
Never.
right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. So I never felt about it that way, you know. And I had some girlfriends from junior high. Some of them was having sex. We guys have been to orgy parties. They in the room, somebody's house, you know. But I just wasn't. That wasn't my thing. And
Gotcha.
so because as a grown woman, once I'm an adult, you know, once I'm into you and once I have sex, I feel like for me that's it. Like, you know, I can never say, oh, the sex was horrible, I don't want to be with him. I don't know anything about that, because I was already liking you, like into you to a certain point anyway. So
Mm.
once the sex happens, then you know, and it doesn't always have to be the best, but we like each other, so we
Yeah.
make it work.
Make it
You
work.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, we
Hmm.
make it work. That's it.
I
Yeah.
can
So,
understand that.
hmm, yeah. So back to your first thing, though, Montana. Yeah, I was devastated with that because I didn't know myself that you can digress from AIDS to HIV. At that time, I didn't know. Like I said, we learned about the disease when it hit the land, and pretty much if you weren't of that lifestyle, it did target gay men and people who do intravenous drug users, prostitute women, and all those things. So if you want of that lifestyle, then okay, I'm good. Just don't trip and go out there with nobody else. But yeah, so I was devastated. I thought I was gonna die, and I was preparing for my death. Preparing for my death, and until I learned that they said, "Oh well, we have good medicine now, and if it works, you can live and live a healthy life." I said, "Oh really? Well, let's see." But meanwhile, I had a long way to go because I only had what they like 6 T cells, which are the ones that is your immune system. And it protects your immune system, right? So what is 6 T cells going to do? We're supposed to have hundreds of them. I'm not fighting off anything. So it took a while for it to show that I would live. But meanwhile, I was preparing mentally, and spiritually for my death, and accepted it. Truly accepted it. Truly accepted it. I want to expound on that a little more, and that's very important. I can only, share my story and what it is. Maybe someone else can grab hold of that piece and reach for that themselves. Because when I was diagnosed, I happened to be incarcerated, believe it or not. Now, without getting into the reasons of why, but I was in there for like about no more than 9 months, a little shy of 9 months, wind up staying in there. And I learned maybe about 6 months in, because my body started breaking down, getting real sick. So I learned in there. Now, I had already surrendered my life. I literally completely gave up on myself because the fact that I'm incarcerated. Like, why am I here? This should have never happened. You know. So I said, okay, I gotta lay. And then when you're incarcerated, you have no control over your life, and I like to have control, And so I gotta let these things go. So I surrendered. God answered. Literally, He answered. Prior to that, I realized He was warning me, and I had done some things and saying I'm coming, whatever. But He answered in that time, in that place. So then I started to get sick. And all I could do once I learned what it was, I said, Father God, if you are calling for my life off this earth, just don't do it while I'm in here. Please don't take my life while I'm in here. Let me get home to see my family. Yeah. Because at this time, they didn't know. Now, my mom would come visit me, my kids, my son who's now 18, he was like 2. And so she would bring him and stuff. But I said, and I didn't tell her yet. But, and I didn't want to while I was in there, but I wind up doing that. But anyhow, because I just wasn't certain. So I had to at least let her know. But I beseeched God. I use His language. I beseech you, Father God. And not for my sake, for their sake. Because if you're taking me, I'm going with you. So, I don't want to go, but if this is what's happening, because see, when you start to understand God and who He is and His love, then you can understand death.
Yeah.
Just as you understand life.
Yes.
So that's kind of where I was at in accepting. But I said, do it for their sake, because they won't understand what happened. Many don't know, So that's how that went for me. It was tremendous. But people should really embrace death, because as I've said on here, it's just as precious as birth, as precious as life, and breathing. But we all are going to go, so it's best to prepare for it.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We got some comments from Phoenix person. She said, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Lady Alva, nice to see you." And she said, "I'm showing off this super cool podcast to a good friend of mine."
All right, all right. Hey, Phoenix person, I was going to ask about you. I'm glad you showed up. Nice to see you too. Nice to hear from you.
If you want
Thank
to
you.
interact with Lady Alva, all you have to do is come over to our Instagram, Arthur Chain page on Instagram, and your comments will pop up live for Lady Alva. If you are watching on Instagram or Facebook, we do appreciate your viewership. So, Lady Alva, tell us. Let me make sure I get this right. Tell us, what roles does your radio station play in supporting and empowering women that are living positively with HIV?
Well, I think the first role is me, myself, Lady Alva, who is living positively with HIV. So that's the main role, to show up for that, to stand up for that, you know, to be the muse, if you will, for that. So I think and hope that that is encouraging from the onset of that. Then furthermore, the music I play, whereas I do play my Sunday morning humming show. That's the one I have now. I'm getting ready to create some other shows, but is praise and worship. And even though all people, if you're not of faith, it doesn't matter because it's good music. Music is music. So, and for definitely those who are of faith can enjoy that, and it should do something for the soul and the spirit. Also, it's topics that I have, which is all about HIV, and being informative. So you can get a little knowledge. The awareness days, because HIV/AIDS has a whole calendar year.
Oh,
Some
wow.
months to skip of awareness days of different things. Yeah, for you, for different ethnicities. Yeah, women, men. The LGBTQ community. I was going to say the alphabet community. I don't like to say that.
I don't want to leave the number of the letters out, so I just say alphabet because
Alphabet. Oh yeah, it's because you don't. Yeah, know the letters. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a mouthful. Yeah. So and good conversations and sharing of myself, and I think that's what helps to give empowerment and understanding and breaking the stigma too, and definitely for men to hear.
How do you go about choosing the guests and the topics on your show?
Well, my show is not limited to just HIV, so I can have different guests that
Right.
I like, but whatever I'm inspired by mostly.
Okay.
And anything is on the health note, I'm always going to welcome that, because health and wellness is numero uno in our lives.
Yes.
And being HIV positive, my health and wellness had to kick up a lot if I want to live healthy.
So.
Yeah. So anything with health, and anything positive concerning women and men. And that's how I choose. And again, it could be at any given day, moment, as I'm going through a day or whatever, something I see, then I may walk up to somebody, well, hey, this and that, and I get inspired, and I open up a conversation, or, that's how I do it.
Respectfully. So from your perspective, what would you say you think is some of the biggest misconceptions about living positively with HIV or AIDS?
Well, the biggest misconceptions that you did something wrong, and the judgment on it, that you're less than, or you must have been all the things, like I said, were you prostituting, or for women, are you an intravenous user, were you just loose and sleeping around, you know, all of those things. Yeah. Yeah. And that you can get it nowadays, like from the ways that some people sadly still think that you can get the disease from one who has it. So lack of knowledge. hmm
I can definitely agree with you on that one. I do feel like a lot of people do need to do their research on different diseases and the way of contracting them because I myself I'm diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And you don't know how many times I've said that and somebody be like, is that contagious? I'm like, bro, it deals with your gastrointestinal system. Like they hear the word disease and they automatically, they think like, oh, I'm gonna die or something. Like, get away from me, like, bro, like, man, this is it's hereditary. Yeah, my children can get it, but
Right.
what am I gonna do to you? I'm the one that's gonna have to go use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Not you. Like,
Right. Right.
so I definitely understand what you're saying. But people need to start,
Yeah.
stop being so judgmental first of all, and actually do
hmm
your research because I mean, I was one of those people, and it took my friend that had to really break it down to me. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Because I was like, hey, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? When we first, I met him. He was my clientele. I'll just put it to you like that. You know what I'm saying? He was my
hmm
clientele. That's how we develop our friendship. And
Okay.
so it's like, one day I'm gonna be all the way real. One day he asked me to smoke with him, and I'm just
Mister
looking.
making me laugh because he's smiling about it like he know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, you know
But
what I
go
mean.
ahead, I'm
So
sorry. Yeah.
see, as he was like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Hey, let's smoke. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've heard him because we was coworkers. You know what I'm saying? We was coworkers,
Okay.
and you know what I'm saying. Went from coworkers to he found out I had something that he needed, and the relationship went on past coworkers. Um,
Okay.
it was like, man, chill. You know what I'm saying? Smoke one. I'm like, bro. First of all, I don't swing that way. He like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I got too much respect for you. I don't mean it in that type of manner. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get high. And I'm just like, well, didn't you say you had XYZ? Didn't you say, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, but, and then that's when he started educating me about it. And I started to
Uh-huh.
learn more. And I'm like,
hmm
oh, you know what I'm saying? But it can be contracted from, what I'm saying, saliva and stuff like that. But, you know what I'm saying? That's
It
when
can't.
oh, it can't.
No, no, no. Not saliva. Mucus, but if someone is not undetectable,
Yeah, see,
then
that's what I was getting to. That's
yeah.
what I was getting to. He was like, "Well,
hmm
I'm not detectable." I'm like, "What the fuck you mean you're not detectable? You said you got XYZ." You know what I'm saying? He's
hmm
like, "Well, I'm undetectable." So I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?" You know what I mean? And
hmm
that's when he started breaking it down to me, and I'm like, "Oh, so you
Yeah.
saying like you can just basically, live your life, you know what I'm saying, have sexual partners and do this and that, and they can't
hmm
get anything from you?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, what the, you know what I'm saying? I was just lost, you know what I mean? And
hmm
so I said all that to say I can definitely agree
hmm
with you when you say that people need to become more knowledgeable because I was one
Yeah.
of the ignorant ones, you know what I'm saying? I can admit
Yeah.
when I was wrong, and you know what I'm saying? He could have took hella offense to that when I said I'm not smoking with you or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying?
hmm
Because you know what I'm saying, my response, I was younger, you know what I mean? My response was
Right.
like, hey, man, fuck no, we ain't about to smoke. You were already on the other side of the fence, bro. Now you talking about smoking with me? Nah, nah. You know what I mean? So,
But look, but at least you said that you're not, you know what I'm saying, which that you're not gonna smoke. No, I don't want to smoke with you, but that opened up the conversation.
yeah,
Because you said, didn't you tell me that you had,
yeah.
so this is how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the knowledge, you don't want to get the knowledge, then shh.
Facts. That's facts. I
That's
agree.
it. What do
I
you
agree.
have to say?
I
I
agree.
agree. I
I
agree.
agree. I
But
agree.
here's
100%.
here's something, yeah, that I'm really this is a growth moment I'm having right here.
Mm-hmm.
the people like myself and you guys that don't want to be judgmental, that are striving to no longer be judgmental, are the ones who will ask questions, are the ones who will say something. Oh, you got, well, what is that? Or how, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody, if you said, oh, I got Crohn's disease, see, I didn't have to ask you because I had learned about it while I was incarcerated.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the girls, I forget her name, white girl. Woo!
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what is that? I guess gotta ask that. And the girls talked about her. Other girls, you in there. These girls are something else. These women, they just rag everybody. And I said, wait, what is that? I asked her. They talk about, oh, when I asked her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm inquisitive. I asked her. When you ask questions, so you learn and you gain knowledge, then you decide what I'm gonna do with it.
Yeah.
You can't make that decision without knowledge.
That's true.
And then it embraces you, that knowledge, to say, oh, okay, now I understand, and that's okay.
Right.
We still could get along. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You might have to, for some people and some things, you might have to, the visit might have to be different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? If you have someone sick that's HIV that's not undetectable, so the occasion or the visit might be a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are things that I can't do or you shouldn't do as far as us together.
Yeah.
In the in the space, we got to be cautious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. With knowledge, who said, I was watching a documentary, and it had talked about ADHD, something else, and dyslexia. And Spike Lee, did y'all know Spike Lee had dyslexia? I thought about you, Mr.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know that either. So he made some comments on it. How did he say it? So we always noted the phrase knowledge is power.
Right.
But he said, he added something to it. Knowledge is power. And with that, you can learn how to navigate in this world however you choose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm paraphrasing. I don't have it exact.
Right.
And I watched that documentary. It's on one of the apps, probably Netflix or Prime Video or Hulu. But I found that so profound. Right. Because as I gain more knowledge, I decide how I want to move through this world. I don't have to move like everybody else.
No, you do not. You do not.
Because I have knowledge of knowing how not to.
Yes.
Do other stuff. Yeah.
It's a phrase that I teach my daughters. And it goes, reading is fundamental. Mm-hmm. Fundamental gives you knowledge. Knowledge is power. And power is the key. Keys open up doors to your destiny.
There you go. And there you go. And there you go. Yeah, and I like that too. Because I always thought about just that phrase, and I know many too, when, knowledge is power. It's almost many people is very self-consumed of just how to climb and gain more, with just kind of empty still, though, just empty, like, yeah. So that's the best way I could put that.
I sent you over the fun facts for the day. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Montana.
I had a question for Lady Alva. This is a good one right here. How do you think the media representation of women and men living with HIV can be improved? Like, how do you think, shows, radio show, just the broadcasting of it, period. How do you think it could be improved? Because I know for me coming up and watching, different movies and TV shows and stuff like that, usually when you see somebody who was had either AIDS or HIV, they was either always skinny, they looked bad, they looked
Right.
rough. You know what I'm saying? They look like the average everyday, what we call it, the average everyday crackhead. And looking at you, you don't look like you smoked a rock a day in your damn life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you feel like, the media can broadcast that differently?
Well, that's exactly part of my goal of what, how I am and who I am. But I consider myself changing that narrative. Everybody that is HIV or has it or however long they had whatever we all don't come from the same place anyway. Just as any of us don't all come from the same place, whether you have HIV or not. But I want to change the narrative of it's not somber. Let's get rid of the somberness of it. It's here, just like there are other diseases that have been here before HIV. There's new diseases after that, and there will be more because this is the planet that we live on. Not negating you conspiracy theorists that say, well, the government put this out, it may be all true, but neither here nor there. Nevertheless, the planet is filled with bacteria, diseases. We are filled with bacteria. So it's not a somber thing. It's in our life. It's here. And now if you didn't get it, good for you. Because nobody wants anything that's attacking their body, that is contrasting their will to live. You understand? And their health. But if those who have it, okay, it's here. Who's to blame? Who's to blame? What are you gonna tell me? I should have lived my life differently? Oh, if you wasn't using those needles, yeah, probably not. You wouldn't have got it. But there's plenty of people who use needles that don't have it. Everybody's always gonna sin is sin. Everybody's gonna have something or do something.
Right.
Until the day that we can get there, and that's an individual walk. That's an individual walk. And it is not to be judged and be disgraced. The disgrace of it all. Let me go back to intravenous drug users. I have a cousin, beautiful girl, and just was shot her whole life. She just stuck in that with this fentanyl. Started from the opioids, the Percocets and all of that, and maybe now the thing is you might get this disease. What if she does that? The devastation has already happened. The devastation is the fact that she put needles in her body. Anything else you could, could come along with that. But so how much more do we need to keep compiling on someone's devastation already? We teach, we love. Love is very important. So I like to just be a little more light about it. I like to show up like I show up, who I am, what I do. No one knows unless I tell you. So if you don't know, you're good. But there are people, once they know, all of a sudden. So what is that? So you like to be lied to. That's what I say to people. You're telling me you like to be lied to. You like to be in the don't know. You like to be in this false narrative about life. And we've all been taught that for too long. None of us will ever be perfect until we meet our Father. There's, so why disgrace one another? It's discrimination. So I show up in that way. And like even to answer you a little further, my video that I did, which was me coming back to radio, and the little song I did, the public announcement, that's something I did. I was excited by it and thought it was very nice and jovial and kind of, what's the word? Oh my gosh. kind of popping, if you will, for always like who's doing that? No, we're not gonna talk about this and be all sad and woe is me. We cutting through that. Yeah.
I love that answer. I love that answer
Oh, well,
because
thank you. Thank
I
you.
love that answer because you know what I'm saying. Like it's like I said, the media portrays, and it's not just this disease in particular. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of diseases like hell addiction. An addiction is a disease. Some people may
Yeah.
not look at it like that, but I damn sure do. I know a lot of
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying functioning crackheads who will build you a house at day and smoke 3 rocks at night.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And get right back up and go build another house tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I just feel like
Mm-hmm.
media in itself, they like to portray and put a lot of negative in the forefront because
They do.
we as people, we thrive on the negative versus the positive. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? They won't tell you that. I'm just gonna use a random name here. They won't tell you that Mr. Tyrone is a expert carpenter and can go to Lowe's and get as much lumber as he need, and you can come back and got a whole log cabin in the backyard. They just gonna tell you that Mr. Tyrone like to smoke rocks. That's all they
Right.
gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's been a
Right.
lifelong crackhead. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
so I think
Yeah.
the media here in the United States, because this is where we live, I think we should do better and as far as news broadcast and television shows and
Mm-hmm.
everything else, and show some of the light on different things in the world versus always showing negativity. That's just me
Yes.
personally.
Yes. Or
Yes,
if you're
yes,
gonna,
like that
yeah,
myself.
if I think that you can thrive off of negativity. You
Mm-hmm.
thrive on what you do with the negative to make it change it into a positive. Take your negativity and make it a positive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I like to see more advertisement of heterosexual couples
Yes.
because the commercials are all LGBTQ.
Um. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
agree
Mm-hmm.
with
haven't.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to see heterosexual couples, and it's amazing with what they like. I like what you said, Montana, because the media, so commercial advertisement, that's all media.
Mm-hmm.
This disease came out. It was labeled a gay disease. Now but then that's the problem. It's not a gay disease, but why is that all we see in the media?
Mm. It's a good question. It's a
Why
very good
we're
question.
the heterosexual couples? And I like to see it. I would like to see it differently. Just a advertisement with a conversation about it
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
between a couple. I don't need to see people kissing and all of that. We don't need to see that. Kissing does not depict love.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Just public display of affection. That's it.
you know. So yeah, I'd like to see it differently, and also, I like myself to be amused for that, and even a story or a little short film. Someone out there want to come call the hummingbird Lady Alva, and let's do a story and light it up. Not dismal, not dismal.
Yeah.
A fabulous story because
Yeah.
I'm a fabulous woman. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like,
I
please.
think what I'm saying, I think you have a great story to tell. And I feel like with more men and women, I think if they were to hear your story, you know what I'm saying, they like you said, it's a lot of people that still hiding the fact that they are positive. So I say, it may not be detectable, but they have the disease, and they're
Yeah,
hiding it. You know what I'm saying? They're shameful
right.
by it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And because I mean, hell, even like I said, with the person that I know that has it personally, like uh, he didn't like he didn't give a damn about who knew. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I got it from being promiscuous and everything else like that. But
Mm-hmm.
um,
Well, one
I,
thing that I just uh human behavior from our human behavior changes from different culturally,
mm-hmm,
ethnicity, who you are. And one thing, the LGBTQ community, their biggest thing was to come out of the closet,
Yeah.
or to be able to say that and be accepted.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of them like, this is nothing, please. Like, it's
Right.
amazing. But I've heard some stories where they were like, oh no, because it's another thing I just got over and my family rejected me and nobody, now because I'm gay and now I got this. So it's a lot of variables to it. But they do have that kind of different strength about them, that unction about them to just, to get over it. Let's move on. Yeah, they do. They do.
You're definitely right about that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hit us with this fun fact, mister?
Lady Alva, I sent you the fun facts as well. Did you get to see them?
I did. Before I got something else. If you're you're going to your fun facts.
No, go ahead. What you got? What you got for the people?
Yeah. So you're the first, because I haven't been on my platform and I haven't posted or anything. Again, let me say to the people out there that's getting to know me tonight, the ones that already know me and that will see this and know me already. I move on purpose. I move with purpose, the purpose in my life. And so sometimes I have to step back because I got other purposes that I got to take care of. And sometimes I just can't do it all because maybe my inspiration is not high enough to do it. Sometimes I'm trapped in myself. It's a lot of things. So when I'm like that, I just stay back and reorganize whatever that is for me, and while I'm doing other things, but I'm always still gaining more material or knowledge or taking note of things, setting up the stage for when and here and there. Do you know what I'm saying? It's never just the knowledge is never dry. I'm always getting it, but sometimes I'm just keeping it. So I hope y'all understand that. As we're looking for the hummingbirds, Lady Alva, to be in this rat race of social media, I don't think that's ever gonna be me. And look, I sometimes I want to, but I really sometimes the components about me that I can't. So it's highs and lows. And for you guys and gals who don't know, people who work from purpose in their life, have artistry minds. Most of us, and I hear that from our icons, we're like that. We're like that. There's highs and lows in these things that can spew out of us and that are to spew out of us. So we can't always be in the race. And many of them had breakdowns because of that and were forced to stop. Some of them lost their lives. Some of them dealt with it differently through drugs and alcohol and all that jazz, So it's a lot of things, but I just want to leave a portion of what I can leave and what I'm intended to leave, to the people. And I enjoy it as I do it. So media, I did a conference with Northwell with the head doctor of infectious disease, Dr. McGowan. So you're the first show that I'm giving this to, first platform. And it's a new drug. We had the PrEP drug that came out, right? But now this is still PrEP, but it's a new version of PrEP, and it's called Yes to Go. And I was on the news, 2, CBS, NBC, Pix 11, and News 12. So sitting right next to Dr. McGowan. And then I was News 12 did a little singulatory thing with me. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But I always tell them, anything that y'all have going on, don't hesitate. If I'm here. That's what I'm here for. My hand is always up. The head of media through CART, which is at Northwell, which is CART is for the infectious disease part, where they do a lot of different things for the people and events. trucks that come out for the to give the testing, free testing. So I said, Natalia, pick me. I'm always available. It doesn't matter, So they did call upon me, and I was in there. That was a nice experience. So Yes to Go is PrEP drug that all should take. Whoever is not HIV positive. So if your teen children are having sex, the way I see it, just as birth control started to come to be administered to teens, not knowing if they're having sex, but teens are having sex, so we want to control the birthing process if they're having sex. This is what Yes to Go can do. It is 100% that you will not, the disease will not be transmitted to you. So if you are sexually active with someone that you know or don't know, okay? You don't know if someone has HIV. They didn't tell you. You don't know. You on that, you won't get it. It is 100%. They've done the testing on it and everything. So it's encouraged for people to get to know about it, talk to your doctor about it. It's easy to take. It's like 2 or no more than 3 injections for the year.
Oh, okay.
Injection, yeah, that covers you. Yeah, so it's preventive. It's a preventive medicine for HIV.
Almost like a vaccine.
That's what I said at the conference, and I don't think that came up. I don't know. I didn't even look at all of the news reports myself of me, but I said that after Dr. McGowan talked. I said, "Oh, that sounds like it's almost like a vaccine." Yeah. A vaccination for it. So I think it's real good, and dope. we really need to, Black people, talk about it. Yes. Encourage your children. If you don't know, take this information that I'm giving you and go do your due diligence, gain more information. If you need more, you can always hit me up, the Hummingbirds. I'm all over social media. And, I will do the due diligence for you and give the information, as you need it, whenever you need it. Right. Because it is very high. I think Montana said this earlier in our teens, our Black teens. The numbers are going up of HIV that they're infected with it. The numbers are going up. So this drug, what is intended to stop the spread of HIV. And I feel like for those who are not HIV, if you go ahead and take this drug, it's going to be better for you. You do not want to get HIV. With HIV can come a lot of other problems, health problems. With HIV can come a lot of other health problems. You understand? So I also feel that it will bring us together, those who are not HIV and those who are HIV positive. Because now we kind of sitting at the table together. You're helping for this not to spread. Yeah. So that's it. That's my new big media thing going on.
Look at you, man. We are so proud. We are so happy to have you. Lady Alva, would you do us the honors and run through the fun facts and celebrity birthdays today?
Absolutely. Let me see. Okay. Fun facts associated, fun facts and historical events associated with today, August 21st. All right. So in 1863, the Battle of Lawrence. During the American Civil War, Confederate raiders, led by William Quantrill, attacked the town of Lawrence, Kansas, resulting in a significant destruction and loss of life. So Lawrence is in Kansas. Okay. I didn't know that. But I'm not a big history buff. My dad probably knew that.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah. And also in 1883, eruption of, how do you put Krakatoa? How are we pronouncing that? Krakatoa? Krakatoa? Or Krakatau?
Look like Krakatoa to me.
Toa or Krakatau. Okay, the volcanic island of Krakatoa erupted, leading to one of the deadliest volcanic events in recorded history. The eruption caused massive tsunamis and affected global climate for years. Oh wow! Look at that!
Look at that!
Wow. 1938. The first airborne radar. The first successful test of airborne radar was conducted by the British, revolutionizing military aviation and later civilian aviation. The first airborne radar. Oh,
how about that?
Yeah.
1938. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to understand the airborne radar.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, the radar for the planes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Airborne as in planes. Because you got to think, when you think about the military, they call their division, the airborne division.
Okay.
So it was probably and then it said it was used from military aviation. So it's probably the radar that they use to be able to sense other planes, to sense heat sensory, or things of objectives, some type of radar, even just to detect that another plane is nearby. So.
Right. Interesting. The technology's been since the beginning of time, right?
Right. Exactly. Right.
Even when who made the fire. Oh man. So 1968, Soviet invasion of Czechoslovakia. The Soviet Union invaded Czechoslovakia to suppress the Prague Spring reform movement, leading to widespread condemnation worldwide. We do what do we know what the Prague Spring reform movement? I've heard it, but I don't know exactly.
I do not know of the Prague Spring.
Yeah.
Reform
I've heard
movement.
it, but I don't have any in my brain to be able to explain it. Okay, 1970, the first Earth Day. The first Earth Day was celebrated on August 21st, 1970, making a significant moment in the environmental movement. Nice. Well, I wonder why they came up with the first Earth Day. I can't just read these things.
It's the environmental movement. So I think, basically like the day that we decided that we want to, take care of the earth, so to speak.
To say, yeah, let's take care of it. Okay. Yeah. That people need to read that every day. I never understand how people walk coming out of a store or coming out of their pockets or their bags, restaurants, whatever it is, eat and then throw the garbage on the ground.
That's good.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. Okay, 1983, assassination of Benigno. Aquino Jr., Filipino opposition leader. Aquino Jr., because that first name, was assassinated upon his return to the Philippines, an event that galvanized opposition to the Marcos regime. Wow.
There you go.
1991. Yeah. The Soviet coup attempt. A coup attempt by hardline communists against Mikhail Gorbachev began, leading to significant political changes in the USSR and its eventual dissolution. Yes, it did. I remember that time. 1995, the launch of the Galileo spacecraft, NASA's Galileo spacecraft, which studied Jupiter and its moons, was launched on this day in 1995. 2008.
Ooh,
What?
I like this
Oh,
one.
you like this one? Barack Obama becomes the first African American presidential nominee. Barack Obama was officially nominated as a Democratic candidate for president of the United States at the Democratic National Convention in Denver. Okay, today, the 21st of August. I would have never remembered the specific day. All right, 2020. The 100th anniversary of women's suffrage in the U.S. Celebrations took place across the country to commemorate the ratification of the 19th Amendment, granting women the right to vote.
Look at that.
Nice.
Look at
Wow.
that. So 2020 was the 100th
100th
anniversary.
anniversary. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 1920 is when women got their right to vote.
Vote. Yeah.
All right. Celebrity birthdays. I send you those. You got those?
Celebrity birthdays. I did hear you say that. No, I don't have that.
I got them. I wrote them down real quick.
Okay.
So if your birthday is August 21st and you share a birthday with Carrie Ann Moss, her birthday was 1973. She is a Canadian actress, best known for her role as Trinity in The Matrix. Kobe Bryant was born in 1978. Today is Kobe Bryant's birthday as well. So you share a birthday with Kobe. He's also, people who don't know, he is a legendary American basketball player known for his time with the Los Angeles Lakers. He's a multiple NBA champion. James Corden was also born in 1978. Damn, his twin birthdays with Kobe. Birthday twin and age. He is a British actress, comedian, and television host. He is famous for the late night show James Corden.
Corden?
Yeah, Corden. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hayden. Ooh, I'm finna mess their name all up. Panettiere. Hayden Panettiere was born in 1989. He is an American actress and singer known for her role in Hero in Nashville. So y'all may know what I'm talking about. I might be butchering baby girl's name. The fastest man in the world, Usain Bolt.
Woo!
He is a Jamaican sprinter. His birthday is also today, widely known for the fastest man in the world. Before we wrap up and get up out of here, Lady Alva, do you got something positive for the people of?
Flourish in love.
Yes.
Flourish in love.
I like that. Flourish in love. Too easy. Montana Cobain, player. Before we slide up on out of here, man, what you got for them folks, man?
Let's see. I'm trying to give you one today. Ooh, hold on. Let's see.
Oh, boy, they're cooking.
I'm trying to, man, but that skillet, I got a pilot stool today, but it just won't light it.
Boy, so they got that pilot going today, boy. Might need a matchup on that thing.
Yeah, man.
Be careful with it, man. Just be like that.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Let's see, man. What did I say? No, I got one for you, man.
Talk about it.
If you know better, do better.
Yeah. If you know better, do better. You know, I like how you did that, and I'm gonna do one like this one. We all heard it before. If you ever watched Superman, or Spider-Man, they do the same innuendo in different ways, but with great power comes great responsibility. You know, so when you get that position of leadership where you run and shit, make sure that you understand the responsibility that come with that role. Whenever God give you a certain blessing, when God grants you with increase, when God grants you with a financial blessing, understand it comes with great responsibility. When you have much, much is required. When you have little, little is required. So that's my 2 cents for the day. But before I get up out of here, I gotta appreciate everybody that come and rock and check in with us, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, to comment, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. If you missed us live, if you missed the video version, understand that we are on any streaming platform with the audio. So if you type of person that like to listen to podcasts on the go, you can search Art for Change podcast on any podcast streaming platform. Also, if you are a person that's about discount and you like oxidated water, you can go to our Instagram page, the official Art for Change podcast page on Instagram. Once you go there, you go to the highlight section. You will see Patriot Water. If you go on their website in the highlight section, you will get 10% off their entire website. They will send you the water right to your door like Amazon, baby. So if you like that oxygenated water, if you're an alkaline type of drinker, I would advise you to go get you some Patriot water. Very good, healthy for your body. 10% off anything on the website if you use Art for Change in a promo, or if you go to a highlight section and take you straight to the website. Same thing for Old Glory. OldGlory.com is a website where you can get 3,000 items worth of merchandise. If you are a fan or you like memorabilia from artists or sports fan, whatever your team may be, whatever your favorite artist may be, man, they have everything on Old Glory, from t-shirts, from keychains, from hoodies, from hey, look, just go on their website and find out something. You'll find out what you like. 15% off, 15, not 50. I know it sounds like 50. 15% off the entire website if you use Art for Change promo. These discounts is only exclusive for people who listen to Art for Change podcast. You go over there, put that promo code, you get that 10% off the entire website. Also, before I forget, Molly B's, that is BZ, Molly B's cookies. If you go on her website, you'll see that in our highlight section as well on our Instagram. 10% off her entire website as well. I have to let y'all know that we do get commission if you go on the website and use the promo codes, and that's the way that you can help Art for Change. So until next time, we are always looking for artists and professionals to come chop it up with us. So get in our inbox. Don't be scared. Hey, peace and love, baby. You know what they say. If you artists and you're an artist, be sure to Art for Change. Hey.
Yes.
Hey, like Lady Alva said, heart sub blessings up, baby. Peace.